Let's dive into the quarterback class, starting with no particular order. Like I said, we're going to kind of throw some names at you. We're going to go Cole Mcdonald to start. This guy, I think, did crack the top 10 of PFF's latest quarterback rankings right at 10.
And he's moving up the board.
Really?
Cut the dreads.
Because he cut the dreads. I remember talking about like way early when we first started this podcast, we were saying you get Cole Mcdonald, cut the dreads, maybe he loses some of that risk, some of that danger with those dreads, and he's become
the dreads were a red flag.
A huge red flag.
A yellow flag hanging on top of his head.
A dead flag. They were literally dead locks on his head. But Cole Mcdonald, freshly shaved, looking great. And he's the guy who moved up, maybe moving up the board, but did crack our top 10 on PFF's latest quarterback rankings. This guy's the classic roller coaster prospect, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, he was top 5 in the nation in both turnover-worthy plays and big-time throws. A roller coaster, like you said, very much a roller coaster of a prospect. That Hawaii offense is absurd considering projecting to the NFL. 5 wide almost every snap, at least 4 wide every single snap, actually. Like, they actually ran 4 wide every single snap that he was there at Hawaii under center, not under center, in the shotgun. So it was just a weird offense to play in, a weird projecting to the NFL, but he has a big arm, and he's actually kind of accurate. He was still, I believe he was top 20 nationwide in terms of his accuracy on throws from 1 to 10 yards downfield, which you think big arm, you think raw quarterback, you think inaccurate. No, he kind of actually has some accuracy to work with, so that's why he cracks the top 10 for us.
Do you see him moving up in the process moving forward, maybe with the combine and pro days, some interviews coming up, no dreads? Is Cole McDonald locked in at 10, or does this guy have a chance to go up or down? Are there other quarterbacks that can push him out of the top 10?
No, I feel like QB's one position where the whole pre-draft process is so... After the Senior Bowl you can actually move. Like, Senior Bowl is something, but like the testing numbers, whatever, that doesn't even move the needle for us. We have the data. We have watched and graded all these throws. I think the rankings at the quarterback position now are fairly set for us. We have, it's just like the on-field is so much more important than the sort of testing, what you do in this whole circus before the draft.
All right, let's jump to the next quarterback then. James Morgan, who I think I've seen getting some buzz.
He's getting some buzz.
He's getting some buzz. Is it rightfully so he's getting some buzz?
No, it's not rightfully so. This one blows my mind that James Morgan getting buzz. So the Florida international quarterback is
Alex Magoo came out of Florida International.
not helping his cause there, but 6'4", 215, very much looks the part. Pretty big arm, easy release, but then you look. He threw 14 touchdowns this year, 5 interceptions, averaged 7.1 yards per attempt, 58 completion percentage. Had more
grading is not great.
Had more turnover-worthy plays than big-time throws. Finished with a 69.1 passing grade this past year. I'm pretty sure Joe Burrow had a better grade than that every single game he played in. He's not that good.
Yeah.
I mean, like, this guy at playing the quarterback position is not that good. And yes, arm talent will get you drafted. If you have a big arm, chances are you'll go somewhere on day 3. But he's just not accurate with it. Like, and his feet are all over the map in the pocket. I went in wanting. I go and watch these small school guys at quarterback wanting to like find that gem, like wanting to be convinced, wanting to hop on board,
like you did with the UAB kid.
Yes, and no, and this is not the guy I'm going to hop on board. This is not the case.
Yeah, looking more into the grades and stuff. He ranks 68th in the country in PFF passing grade at 69.1. James Morgan of FIU, and only 14 big-time throws on 368 attempts. That scares me when you're trying to talk about a guy with a big arm that has this potential to make big plays. Where are the big plays? And that speaks to the accuracy. If you have a big arm and you have this arm talent that you speak to with James Morgan, but you're not connecting down the football field, inaccurate big arms aren't that great. I'll tell you that right now. They're overrated in a sense. He also had 18 turnover-worthy plays. Like you said, more turnover-worthy plays than big-time throws. I mean, this is a concerning grading profile for James Morgan.
Yeah, it very much is. Like, he is... I mean, I get why if you're going to be drafting him, he's project. Like, you very much know. But, like, the things that you would want out of a project, that's what I'm saying. Like, Cole McDonald has them. I don't think James Morgan necessarily does.
All right, let's jump to Nate Stanley, who has a much better grading profile than James Morgan. The Iowa quarterback, he earned an 81.5 PFF passing grade, which ranked 30th in the country this past year. Standing out to me right now, though, 28 big-time throws, only 9 turnover-worthy plays for Nate Stanley. That is an impressive ratio.
Yeah, he stands just outside probably of our top 10. If we were to take it to like 12, he would have been on that list at the quarterback position. There's things to like about him. Plays pro-style offense, took snaps from under center, that sort of thing. 6'4", 242, big dude. And he did have a good grade this past year, 81.5 passing grade this past season, like you mentioned, protects the football, but a lot underneath stuff in that offense. I think his just accuracy is not not great. He has very much been, over the course of his career, left a lot of plays on that football field. Never been a guy, never completed over 60% of his passes in a single season there at Iowa, 3 years of starting. So I do think there's something here. Like, I think he's probably like a 4th, 5th round type of guy that, kind of like C.J. Beathard before him, who you can hang on a roster, but I'm not. There's a reason why he fell outside of the top 10 QBs. And again, the accuracy or lack thereof, just he's shown that, throughout his career.
Yep. All right, let's jump to Tyler Huntley, the former Utah quarterback. I think he has some athleticism to his game. I do like what he did at Utah, but again, I don't know if this guy's really a top. Is this guy a top quarterback prospect? You can't say that.
No, he's. The biggest thing is that he can run. Like, his legs are a weapon for him. He very much, the grading this past season was very favorable to him. He had an 89.0 passing grade, but a lot of that is kind of when things weren't there, he wasn't putting the ball in harm's way. Kind of how the Jalen Hurts-esque grading well, in terms of he graded well because a lot of times when things broke down or when you didn't get through his reads, he would run, break the pocket, get out, and make plays with his legs. And so not taking those negative throws, but also I don't think he's athletic enough to necessarily move the needle as a rusher in the NFL at the quarterback position. And then he's just very much just a project as a passer still. Like, he has a super long release, only 6'1", 205. I'd probably still draft him. He's probably still a draftable prospect, but yeah, he's not as good as that 89.0 passing grade would suggest. Yeah,
going into that, passing grade, 89.0 with only 18 big-time throws and 6 turnover-worthy plays. This guy's accurate with the football. I mean, he had the second lowest uncatchable inaccurate percentage of any quarterback in college football this past year. Only Keaton Slovis threw a lower number of uncatchable inaccurate passes for Tyler Huntley. He beat out Joe Burrow in that regard. I think not being accurate with the football, but again, this is a guy that pressed the football downfield, didn't take a ton of risks at Utah, and I think the rushing ability, like you said, does add to his profile for sure. Going to Josh Love. You know who likes Josh Love? I think George Chahuri likes Josh Love.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think he's in the advanced analytics.
I like Josh Love.
This guy's got some talent.
He, to me, he's like a mid-round type of quarterback prospect, a 3rd or 4th rounder. I truly believe that. He graded out extremely well for us. I love his pocket presence. He did really well under pressure. Like, the dude didn't take a lot of sacks, stood tall in the pocket. Now, the reason he's probably not getting hype like James Morgan's getting hype is because he's 6'2", 200 pounds. Like, the guy is not built like you'd want an NFL QB. Doesn't look the part. Arm strength, very average. Very average for the NFL level. So from that perspective, you're never gonna get hype. Yeah. As a small school quarterback, no one's gonna buy into those numbers. When you put up big numbers, no one's gonna buy into them. And he put up good, not great numbers, 60.9 completion percentage, 8.2 yards per attempt, 22 picks to 8 touchdowns this past season. But I will say that I'm not surprised that the advanced numbers love him, because you watch him play the game. Accurate, very accurate with the football. I think there is something to work with here with Josh Love, San Jose State QB. Like I said, 28 big-time throws this past year, 14 turnover-worthy plays. That's a pretty good ratio.
Definitely, I mean, impressive grading profile. The accuracy stuff definitely stands out. When you talk to George Chahuri and Eric Eager, the data scientists here at PFF, if they like a guy, it's worth turning back on the tape. They're telling me some other guys as well, looking at offensive line metrics. Michael Onwenu.
Onwenu. I don't know. I actually don't know that.
Stop. Sure. All right. Well, Josh Love, another one of those mid-round quarterback prospects, but one of which that is, grading profile stands out. I think, not doesn't look the part from a size standpoint, but a name to know.
Could very much be like a, the name's now slipping my mind. Mullen, the backup for the
Nick
49ers.
Mullins.
Nick Mullins, yeah. Very much like that. Very super productive in college at Southern Miss. Graded out really well his last year there. Kind of just flew under the radar because the size, the arm strength didn't fit the mold. But then he gets a shot in the NFL and, plays, a lot of other backups around the league.
Tell me what you know about Kevin Davidson.
I know he went to Princeton, and I know we're grading his games currently, and he will be in the draft guide. But I will get to his tape once the grading is done this week, and we'll give you a full report on Davidson when that does come up. But Kevin Davidson, was requested by NFL teams for us to grade him. So, this guy, there might be some real buzz around this guy, the Princeton quarterback, Kevin Davidson. Yeah, he put up really big numbers in the Ivy League there.
Definitely going to have to dive into that tape.
Yeah,
NFL teams, I remember NFL teams early in the process process were asking for Jimmy Garoppolo. I remember Jimmy Garoppolo was a big name. They're like, hey, we need to get this. We need grades for these guys. But that's good company. Kevin Davidson, that's good company to be in when teams are asking for your grades from PFF. All right, Stevie Montez. I'll tell you right now, Renner, I don't love Stevie Montez. He didn't grade super well for us this past year. He did not look good at all at the Senior Bowl. I mean, Oakland native, I have a little bit for that. I'm from Oakland as well. But outside of that, I can't get on the bandwagon that is Stevie Montez.
And the thing is, like, he starts as a sophomore back in 2017, 75.0 passing grade, and has gotten worse since then. Like, he has not improved whatsoever. Had a big arm. Like, I thought after that year, I'm like, oh, Stevie Montez, this guy's going to be a name to watch, like, after what he was doing in that season. And then the last 2 years, like, we've been talking about how Laviska Shenault, like, they can't get him the ball down the football field because the quarterback situation there. We're not, like, calling Montez out by name, but it's because it's Montez. Like, Montez is not just, like, has a strong arm.
Over 22% of his passes were uncatchable or inaccurate. That's outside the top 60 in ranks. He only just a 72.3 PFF passing grade, 14 big-time throws, 15 turnover-worthy plays. That ratio
not improving is also the scary thing.
It's a huge concern.
And already 23 years old as well.
Oh, man. So I didn't know he was that old, too. Jeez. That is red flag city for
not
Stevie
a lot.
Montez.
And then, the Senior Bowl performance was less than stellar, we'll say.
All right, let's get to a guy that Eric Eager calls the number 3 quarterback prospect in the 2020 NFL Draft. It's Anthony Gordon of Washington State. He's sipping the Kool-Aid on Washington State's offense. Same with Gardner Minshew. I mean, the analytics guys were high on Gardner Minshew, too. He graded really well. I thought Anthony Gordon looked good at the Senior Bowl, accurate with the football. I like his decision-making inside and outside of structure. Doesn't have the arm talent. Okay. Not as accurate as Gardner Minshew. I think I would say that as well. But Anthony Gordon, there's some moxie there. And now the grades are backing it up. I could get on board.
Man, I just can't get that Utah game out of my head because Utah's defense, best defense he faced all year, and obviously it was going to be difficult for him. That not a ton of pure talent on that Washington State offense outside of Easton Winston Jr.
Oh man,
in terms
didn't
of
even get an invite to the combine. It's over. My Easton train is over. The hype train is dead because he didn't get an invite to the combine. I'm pissed.
But yeah, in that Utah game, he had 8 turnover-worthy plays, and it just like completely fell apart to the point where I was just like, this is awful. Like it was just it was only his 5th start ever as a college quarterback. He
takes way more risks than Gardner Minshew ever did.
But yeah, he's much more of he takes those chances down the football field, but like he takes
bad chances.
Too many bad chances.
Yeah, he does not take calculated risks. He takes some bad risks and they show up on tape.
And so, but he does have some of that. Okay, I'm going to say Patrick. I'm going to bring up Patrick Mahomes' name, but it has nothing to do with it. But in terms of like, he has some of that, just like innate quarterbacking to it, where it's just.
Oh no, you saw that in the Senior Bowl too. Like his best plays, like I think you said this before the Senior Bowl. Anthony Gordon's at his best when things break down and you have to have those instincts and that innate quarterback. Exactly. Create something on your own.
Throw making in terms of like throwing a guy open where he might not necessarily be open, but you put it on his leverage instead of the defender's leverage. Like he's good at those things, but bad decisions with football. Doesn't have that big of an arm, but he has a really pretty release. We talked about that with.
Well, overconfident, I would say, with his arm
with
sometimes.
Seth Molina,
he tries to fit some certain things. Then you get a little, Anthony Gordon, what are you
call
doing?
him the 3rd best QB in you look at the grades. He had 81.8 grade this past year, but if you take out the Utah game, it bumps up like close to 90 because that's how bad that Utah game was for his grading profile. But I can see why the data would love him, and like there's a lot to like about this guy. I'm just lower on him because I get scared when guys completely fall apart because it's like those are the defenses you face in the NFL. When it's the toughest defenses you face in college are the ones you face in the NFL week in and week out. And if you just completely fell apart, that doesn't bode well for it's like that Mitch Trubisky against NC State coming out. Good defense there at NC State that last year, and he just absolutely ate shit that whole game. Looked awful, and we've seen what happened in the NFL.
I'm going to tell you something though. When we say like the data guys or the data scientists George and Eric are high on somebody for the quarterback position, it's going to come down to a handful of things. He's got to be very accurate with the football, limit mistakes from a clean pocket, and grade well from a clean pocket. You see that with Andy Gordon a lot. Only 16.2% of his passes were uncatchable, inaccurate, charted by PFF. That ranks inside the top 5 at the quarterback position, and 68.7% were accurate or accurate plus in PFF's ball charting. I mean, this guy is very accurate with the football, good from a clean pocket. When you have those types of numbers, you're going to perform well in the predictive metrics that PFF is putting together.
Yeah, and he's makes a quick decisions with the football, and you love guys that come from offenses like Washington State where it's on them. They have to win. If they're going to win a game, it's because of them. And it's like when you see a guy like Nate Stanley who's so protected by the run game, the Iowa QB, so protected by the run game, so protected by play action. Like it wasn't on him to win football games. So protected by a good defense, that sort of thing. it was on Gordon to win football games every week. And UCLA game, he did.
Dude, that UCLA game was fantastic. Yeah. What a game to watch. All right, let's move forward to Jacob Eason, the guy that gets a lot more hype. I mean, he's been talked about.
Wait, no, they lost that UCLA game, right?
Oh no, I think they might have lost that UCLA game.
Oh man,
you're right.
Oops. But he put up a lot of points. So
yeah, he did. Yeah, that's all that matters, right? Jacob Eason. I mean, the story is this guy is two different people. There's a Jacob Eason that's from a clean pocket, and then there's this Jacob Eason that's kind of like a nightmaric character from when he's under pressure. Looking at the grading profile, a 91.7 PFF passing grade from a clean pocket, 20 touchdowns, 5 picks. From a pressured pocket, under pressure, a 37.6 PFF passing grade with 3 picks, only two touchdowns, a low completion percentage. This guy struggles, and that's an understatement, under pressure. We've said it about Jacob Eason pretty much every time we bring him up, and when you're that cataclysmic under pressure, when you're that much of a problem under pressure, it's hard to get behind you as a quarterback.
Yeah, and it's not like just the fact that he's bad under pressure. It's the reason why he's bad. It's because he's panicking.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just like, a couple bad decisions, whatever, stepped into throws and then like threw it to a linebacker, missed linebackers. You can live with that. You can't live with the guy falling away and heaving, the Derek Carr throws.
Yep.
Like those are the ones where it's like actually scary about projecting to the next level, because like we said, he had a very good offensive line at Washington. He was not under that much pressure. Something like 22% of his dropbacks were under pressure. And the other scary thing is he took 22 sacks this year. We charged him with 8 of those.
Oh man.
Not the offensive line.
That's the worst combo. That's the bad combo.
Rate.
Like,
yes.
you panic under pressure and make bad decisions, rush your process, all those things, and then also, and when you don't rush the process, when you don't make that bad throw, you're taking sacks that you shouldn't have taken. Man, that is a bad combination for projecting a quarterback at the next level. I mean, that's one I'd be scared to get behind. Let's move to Shea Patterson. You think Shea Patterson, former 5-star, big pedigree, dude, loved coming out of college. This guy is one of the worst
coming out of high school. Like at Elite 11 was awesome to watch because it's 7-on-7, but he was just like so confident in his throws, all like some beautiful downfield throws. And the high end with Shea was great. Even at Michigan, at Ole Miss, it was great. Like, he had games where he would just bury teams, and you're just like, this guy's a first round type of prospect. Like, he's that talented, can make plays outside the pocket, has athleticism, has a quick release, but then is just all over the map. The guy is just like up and down.
Talk about all over the map. This past year, fewer than 50% of his passes were accurate. He ranked outside the top 100 in uncatchable accurate percentage. You look at from a clean. You talk about Jacob Eason being bad under pressure. 31.1 PFF passing grade under pressure for Shea this past year. A 90.4 from a clean pocket. This guy needs an ideal situation to put the ball accurately, let alone make a good decision. You can't be in love with what you've seen with Shea Patterson. And if you look at his grades and look against just good competition, I mean, this guy's really struggled to elevate and bring himself above, where he needs to be.
Yeah. Very much so. And he's also old, 23 years old, right? It's like, I don't think you're going to fix this guy.
Yeah.
Like, that's what he's been every single year of his career.
I think, what role this guy needs at the next level is a little bit hot take. Taysom
Safety.
Hill. No. I think you put this guy in a Taysom Hill role because he's athletic. He has good size. 6'2", 205, maybe not great size. Yeah. But, this combine for him is so important. You better prove
You
better prove that 5-star pedigree has some athleticism to it, because if you come in there run like in the late 4.7s, 4.8s, you're coming off boards at this point.
He needs a Trace McSorley-esque combine.
Yes, there's another comp. I think I took Trace McSorley, Taysom Hill, put himself in that role. Shea Patterson, you could be a punt protector at the next level. A personal protector if you want to be something in the NFL. Let's get it. You want to play on Sundays? All right. That's a little harsh on Shea. But let's move to a much better quarterback prospect. The next guy on this list here, kind of random order, but Tua Tagovailoa of Alabama. The injury is the first thing that comes up with his name. It says reports are saying that he will be fully healthy by the time of the draft. Does that mean he plays in 2020? We'll see. But regardless, push the injury aside. Let's just throw it to the side here. 2 years of elite grading, over 90.0 plus in the SEC. He has 2 of the top 15 all-time single-season PFF passing records, or highest passing grades in the college era. He's that good. On the field, this guy's one of the better quarterback prospects in this draft, let alone what we've seen in the past 4 or 5 drafts.
Yeah, the analytics love him. Pretty much everything. Like, there's pretty much all in agreement. If he was fully healthy, dude's a franchise quarterback prospect. Yes. He's not Joe Burrow, but he's a franchise quarterback type of prospect.
Dude's fully healthy. The Washington Redskins are strongly thinking about him at number 2.
And with the injury, though, I'm saying I would not take that chance on him with how serious the repercussions could be,
especially
and how
with
good Chase Young is. But I do have to laugh when everyone's quoting this report about the the CT scan or whatever coming back and the bone's healing. It's like that was not the problem. Like the one everyone's like quoting is like, oh, good signs or good returns from Tua. That's not the issue at all that people are worried about.
His agent is pushing.
Yeah, exactly.
That, my friend.
Like, that one, like that whole report means nothing to his like long term. What people are actually worried about.
I actually
about the
elevated his draft stock after that report, so I don't know what you're talking
so like everyone's pumping that up. Don't like that's not the thing you're worried about. Bones heal. Like that was always going to happen. His bone was always going to get back to 100%. It was whether or not the bone inside the blood supply is still going to his hip that we won't know for probably another couple months for sure.
For listeners that don't know, Mike's dad's a doctor, and a hot take from Mike: bones heal. So here we are, really dropping some fire medical advice or medical reasoning, facts, logistics. I don't know. I mean, this is just great content.
I do. Like he'll talk to me for like an hour about Tua's injury, and I'll be like, Dad, like you've repeated this like 3 times.
This is a Wendy's.
I'm like, I just wanted to know like the just give me like the long and short of it, and then he'll give me the history about hip injuries
That's fantastic.
throughout.
You thought this was 2-for-1 drafts? It's 3-for-1. We got medical advice. We're gonna bring your dad on the pod.
Well, we should actually
bring your dad on the pod. I'm in. I'm all in. Or your mom. I mean, she's. Well, let's not get into your mom. All right, Jalen Hurts of Oklahoma, next quarterback here. I think with Jalen Hurts, see, there's people who, when you talk about Jalen Hurts, I've been asked on multiple radio hits. Jalen Hurts could probably fit in the NFL because of Lamar Jackson, what the Baltimore Ravens are doing. This guy's not the same level athlete. He's not even as accurate as Lamar Jackson, in my opinion. And I just don't think they're on the same tier of quarterbacks. I think Jalen Hurts would be a great backup behind Lamar Jackson. I don't see him as a starter at the next level. And if he is, it's going to be for another team that has to completely adapt their offense to his skill set. One of which that is a tier below, if not 2 tiers below, Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, ideally, like I like in a perfect world, yes, you would like adapt your offense to him, but it's not quite that simple. Like not every offense coordinator like knows how to scheme up the way Greg Roman does, or knows how to adapt their offense to a guy's strengths like that. So yes, ideally you would have a good offensive mind who would be able to take advantage of his skill set, but that's just not the way like the NFL works nowadays. He just does not have the ability. So the comp for him right now is Tyrod Taylor, but I don't even think he's as accurate down the football field as Tyrod Taylor.
I would agree with you.
Tyrod Taylor is still able to beat you over the top more than I think Jalen Hurts has proven throughout his career at Alabama and Oklahoma and at the Senior Bowl, where he was kind of all over the place on those deep balls.
100%. He did grade really well. I think he was in a system that really benefited his skill set. An 89.4 PFF passing grade this past year, tied for 7th with Tanner Morgan, who is a name to know for next year. He came into the Cincinnati offices recently as well. I don't know if you met Tanner Morgan when he came in, but Tanner, good dude. Well, we kind of don't like telling you things here at PFF, but Tanner Morgan tied with him. Jalen Hurts.
In the office either, so.
18 big-time throws, 14 turnover-worthy plays. And I think the 18 big-time throws with that high grade, a lot of that, I mean, he was accurate on a lot of the underneath stuff, but they didn't ask him to do a ton down the football field. Yeah. And rightfully so. You start to push the ball down the football field, his accuracy metrics, his grading looks a lot worse. They relied on a lot of guys after the catch here.
Yeah, I mean, he worked the intermediate level. I mean, it's that Lincoln Riley offense is just... It's fucking money. Like it's just there's guys running wild in that offense, so that also helped out. So
yep. All right, let's go to Jake Fromm. I think the number 4 quarterback according to PFF's latest position rankings. Jake Fromm ahead of Jacob Eason, ahead of Jordan Love. That's where we have him right now.
Jake Fromm is like the college version of. He was Alex Smith in college, just like very much. Quick decisions, going to get the ball where it needs to go, going to do it quickly, not going to turn over the football. You put it on his back, it's not going to end great for you. It's just that's who he is, and that's like you can work with that in the NFL. It's just, yes, if you're drafted in the first round, I would probably set my sights a little higher. But like in a second rounder, if you need a backup quarterback, like I would go and take this guy in a heartbeat because I think he can win you football games. But I don't think he's like. Again, like you should set your sights a little higher than someone like Jake
Ceiling
Fromm.
Is limited. I mean, he's not going to be a quarterback at the next level that, like you said, when you put the game on his shoulders, he takes it to the next level and wins you football games. Yeah. But if you need a guy where you already have a good defense, which is rare, and you already have a good offensive line, these things, then he can come in and win you a handful of games in a pinch. Maybe Jake Fromm's your guy. Taking him in the first round, though, I think that is rich. I don't know if I do it, even with positional value included.
Yeah, and he is just... Like I said, he's just limited, and you can win with his limitations. You can still, like I said, not going to take sacks, not going to turn the ball over, going to execute your offense. And so I can see a team falling in love with him. I could see, like the Patriots at the back end of the first round falling in love with him and being willing to take a shot on him because he has very there's a lot of things about the quarterback position he does well, but then he's not super accurate, and then the downfield throws just aren't there.
The accuracy is the biggest concern for me. 25.8% of his throws were charted as uncatchable, inaccurate passes, and that when you get over that 20% number is when you get into this tier of inaccuracy. That is a huge concern. That's hard to win with at the next level, especially when you start to see him push the ball downfield 10-plus yards down the football field. And another thing, too, yes, 24 big-time throws, only 7 turnover-worthy plays, but a lot of that is when he tries to push the ball down the football field, he's not that guy that has that high end in his game.
And also we talked about the Anthony Gordon thing. Anthony Gordon, it was on his back every time. It was not on Jake Fromm's back. Only 7 games in his entire college football career did he take at least 35 dropbacks.
Oh, wow.
Anthony Gordon took more than that every single game this year. Anthony Gordon had at least 35
God bless you, Mike Leach.
in every single game.
God bless you.
Right?
I can't wait to watch Mississippi State this year.
Yeah.
KJ Costello, Kylan Hill, the bowling ball.
That'll be fun.
Kylan Hill's so good in the first 3 weeks of the season. You get on board with him, really
Right,
excited.
dude.
He forces 8 missed tackles against Southern Miss. You're banging the table for this guy in the draft. But I think with Mike Leach, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, he'll get thrown the ball.
Hopefully,
to prove that.
If I was a running back, and maybe this is why he came back, but you get an opportunity to work with Mike Leach and get thrown the football. Whoa, that's next level. You see running backs that don't even have near 50 targets in their career before they go to the NFL.
That's probably better for your draft stock nowadays than going to somewhere like Wisconsin where they're just going to
100%
grind you into dust.
Yep. All right. Now we're getting to the upper tier here, the upper echelon. Joe Burrow is the next quarterback we got to bring up here.
Yeah, I'll say these ones, we've hammered these guys. You know our takes on Joe Burrow. He's fucking awesome.
Yeah, Joe Burrow is awesome. I mean, he's up there. He's earned the best single-season passing grade PFF's ever seen at the college level, and he did it in the SEC. He did it in the college football playoff. This guy was truly special this past year. Older prospect, sure, had a great supporting cast. Joe Brady, we don't care. This guy was accurate to a level we've never seen. Good inside the pocket, outside the pocket, clean, pressured. I don't really care. Jersey number, it doesn't matter. Joe Burrow was absolutely fantastic this past year.
His ability to work the pocket is probably the most impressive thing that kind of gotten swept under the rug with Burrow. He is unlike any other college quarterback I've ever seen in his ability to just navigate. Navigate tight pockets and keep his eyes up downfield and make plays. That offensive line, they won the Joe Moore Award or whatever, but they weren't that good. The tackles were kind of rough there. He was under a lot of pressure, or a lot more pressure than Tua at Alabama. Their offensive line was not at that sort of level, but he operated very well from it still.
Absolutely. All right, last 2 quarterbacks on the quarterback class overview. Remember, all of these guys will be in the 2020 NFL Draft Guide that drops on February 24th on PFF.com. Subscribe to PFF's Edge or Elite subscription to get full access to that. Download that. Definitely do it. Mike Renner's hard work, over 750 pages, dude. It's freaking Bible length, bro. This is next level. All right, last 2. Justin Herbert of Oregon. You have our takes on him. We're not as high on him as others are. Yes, we believe he has some of the best arm talent in the class.
Yeah.
Looks the part. I've raved about the kid's hair. It's great hair. I'm not going to lie to anyone here. Great hair. But Justin Herbert, when the game's on his shoulders, when he's got to rise to the occasion and be the best player on the football field, that's where you see him crumble, and it's just so hard to get behind him.
And man, the people that are trying to pump up his Utah and Wisconsin big wins.
Stop.
It's just he threw the ball 20 times against Wisconsin for 138 yards and had a pick and no touchdowns. He has 64.4 passing grade against Wisconsin, 58.3 against Utah. They did not win those games because of Justin Herbert. It was because of the defense, because of their running. His athleticism has gotten underrated. I think you can actually run with him in the quarterback design running game.
I think not enough people are making comps to athletic quarterbacks at the next level.
Yeah.
One that have primary, Josh Allen. I think he has similar athleticism into where you could run some designed Justin Herbert runs at the next level and have success.
And the thing is, if you draft him top 10. And he's going to go top 10. He has
that's a lock.
Too big of an arm.
I guarantee that.
Too big of an arm to go top 10.
Too good of a face. Way too good of a face.
6'6", 240 doesn't last long in quarterback position with a cannon. That that gets drafted top 10. I'm not going to hate on it because there is something, there is a lot there. He makes some special throws down the football field that other guys can. That arm talent does play at the next level. And it's not like he's inaccurate. Like I said, I've been banging the table. He's not like your normal big arm quarterback. Tyree Jacksons, your Josh Allens of the world, who kind of you're just when they throw it, you don't know where it's necessarily going. No, he's pretty good about that.
Sub 20% uncatchable inaccuracy percentage.
So there is there's reasons to fall in love. And if you're going to draft him top 10, I'm not going to hate on too much because of the quarterback value, because of what hitting on him would mean. But it's just, I'd rather go else.
Also, to compare Justin Herbert to Jake Fromm, like Jake Fromm's ceiling is significantly lower than what Justin Herbert brings to the table. And that's why you feel more comfortable.
But just like you're limited. Your offense is limited with Jake Fromm. Herbert, any offense you want to run, he can
do
anything.
It.
Yeah.
The problem is when is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? He's going to do it against the worst team in the NFL, maybe bad defenses. But is he going to do it when it comes crunch time? Is he going to do it in the postseason? And that's where we've seen him oftentimes fail.
Honestly, like the comp for him in the draft guide is Ryan Tannehill, and I could see him having a career kind of like Tannehill, where it's just like very meh for a while, and then puts it like flips the switch at one point and buries some teams and actually goes to town for a few games in a row, but then comes back down to earth at some point.
I like that comp. I kind of like it. All right, last quarterback on the quarterback overview, it's Jordan Love. We talked about him a ton as well. High-low, roller coaster. Again, another guy that he has more high end than Jake Fromm, but he's a guy where the low end comes up way more often than you'd like to see, especially against lower level competition. Against in the Mountain West, had some games that were some bad games you don't want to see against Mountain West competition, some bad decision making, not always accurate with the football. And then you watch that game against LSU. I mean, this guy crumbles. He starts to press. He knows he's losing, and when he does start to press, it looks even worse. I think Jordan Love, I think he's fixable potentially, maybe fixable, and what you fix him to become is pretty spectacular at the next level. But again, the low end right now is a huge concern.
Yeah, we'll start on the positives because we actually probably haven't thrown a ton of positives out for Jordan Love over the course of the process because we've been arguing against that first round narrative on him, but he has ridiculous touch with football. He has some throws where he knows how to put it over a linebacker in front of the safety. He will adjust the speed of the ball based on where it needs to go. Puts it in a bucket down the football field very, very well. And that's probably one of the biggest things that he lost this year was plays like that. He had a throw against LSU that got picked off by I think it was Derek Stingley picked him off on a go ball to where Joe Burrow makes that throw. It's a touchdown because Jamar Chase is coming down with it. It was a perfectly placed go ball. It was just his receiver got fucking toasted at the catch point, and Derek Stingley's Derek Stingley. So he lost a lot of yardage on stuff like that because he just didn't have guys who could win on those go balls, and he throws a really nice one. And so that a lot of that came out of the Utah State offense this past season. And he does not take sacks. He's very good about not taking sacks. Sometimes that comes at the detriment in terms of he throws the ball into, he's just throwing it up for grabs at times. But he had one of the lowest sack rates in the country each of the last 2 years. So there is positives. Those are things that are good to work with at the next level. Being able to drop it in the bucket, not taking sacks are good things.
You want to get rid of me and get back to more great PFF YouTube content? All you have to do is push that button right there and subscribe. Thanks for watching.